Oregonians are low-key racist as hell. Brother, what do you mean low-key, man? Guys, the state of Oregon. I know that people like look at Portlandia and look at Portland and think like, oh man, they're so woke. Brother, Oregon was so fucking racist. They literally did not want slaves, dude. Okay? They were too racist for slavery because they said, we don't want slaves because we don't want black people living around us, motherfucker. That's how racist Oregon was in its foundation and formation. What the f are you talking about? The Oregonian Constitution made it illegal for black people to own property until like 1994 or some shit. What the f are you talking about, dude? It's such a weird thing that like Oregon when were black people allowed to have own, like legally allowed to own property in Oregon? Here, Oregon's racial makeup has been shaped by 3 black exclusion laws that were in place during much of the region's early history. These laws, all later rescinded, largely succeeded in the aim of discouraging free blacks from settling in Oregon early on, ensuring that Oregon would develop as primarily white. According to Wikipedia, it was until 1926. Okay, there was another law. There was another law in Oregon. Oh, a racist history shows why Oregon is still so white. Yeah, oh yeah, this is the article I literally covered. Oregon began as a whites-only state through a series of black exclusionary laws that was designed to discourage black Americans from living here in the first place. These laws point to the fact that Oregon was founded as a racist white utopia. In 1844, Oregon was still a territory. It passed its first black exclusionary law. It banned slavery, but it also prohibited black people from living in the territory for more than 3 years. Bro, they literally were like, no slavery, but also no black people in general. If a black person broke this law, the consequence was 39 lashes every 6 months until they left. Territory passed another black exclusion law 5 years later in 1949. This one barred black people who were not already in the area from entering or residing in Oregon territory. They literally were like, we're a sundown state. The final exclusion made it into the Oregon Constitution as a clause when the territory became a state 10 years later in 1859. They were like, we like that so much, we're going to keep it in the Constitution. The clause went further than the territory's second law, also prohibiting black people from owning property and making contracts. These laws were rarely enforced, but they did the job they were created to do, establish Oregon as a majority white state, and that's why Portland, the state's most populous city, is still known as the whitest big city in the United States. According to 2019 estimates from the Census Bureau, Oregon's population is nearly 87% white. The figure for the census category of white alone, not Hispanic or Latino, was 75%. The state's black population was just over 2%. The racist language in the Oregon Constitution was not removed until 2002, by the way. 2002. Let's not forget Rachel Dolezal was running the NAACP chapter in Washington. PNW is not known for his low-key racism. Oh, okay. Nice bathroom. Let me tell you something, okay? 18 years ago, 30% of voters elected to keep the racist clause in the Constitution. Just understand that, dude. 30% wanted to keep the constitutional references to race. The measure removed historical racial references such as, I won't say it, but the old school way of saying black, which, what do I always say, motherfucker? 30% of Americans will agree on anything. 30% of Americans will agree on anything. 30% of Americans will agree on anything, dude. Classic HasanAbi broadcast rule for America. You can always get 30% of Americans to agree on anything, okay? Straight up, no matter what happens. Classic, dude. 30% of Americans are pro-COVID. My friend, it's much higher than 30% of Americans that are pro-COVID, for the record. I'm saying 30% or more. My point is, you can always find 30% of Americans that agree on anything, no matter how egregious, ridiculous, inhumane it is, okay? But anyway, that's Oregon. That's how Oregon is. So make no mistake, that should not be surprising to you.